bathroom. Let me not put the camera right up my nose. How about that? That'll have to do. Somebody recently asked me a question that I've been ruminating an answer for a couple of days now. They asked me what a light worker is. It's not so much of an easy question to answer. Not when you get into the details and the minutiae. The best answer I could come up with is light workers are nothing new. They've been around since the dawn of man. Many different labels, many different titles. Healers, earth angels, prophets. The list probably goes on, and every generation has them. You know, if anybody's listened to any of my other videos, you know, several times I've talked about the cyclical nature of time and experience, and how in the human experience we go through cycles of evolution, essentially, and they overlap. Periods of physical growth, evolution, for lack of better terms, spiritual, mental, emotional, so forth and so on. And they overlap or intertwine. In my experience, the light workers are the point of the spear. Okay? What I mean by that is they usually are the ones who get to experience a lot of that change and growth well ahead of the collective. And this is what I mean by they're the wayfinders or the pathfinders. They get to experience it without the support of anyone else, or without anyone other than Source to guide them through it in their own intuition, introspection, their own gifts and abilities. You can't help someone else until you've learned how to help yourself. Just like the adage of you can't truly love someone until you love yourself, and so forth and so on. And really what that means is you cannot, the cliche, you can't pour from an empty cup. Okay? Here's an example. When I was in my teens, many moons ago, I recently celebrated my 49th birthday 2 days ago. Anyway, so several lifetimes ago, and that's pretty much what it was, I, as any good teenager did, I experimented a lot with different psychoactive substances, hallucinogens primarily. And I discovered very early on that everything I experienced while under said substance all came from here. It all came from basically within. Some of it from without, but most of it from within. And I was lucky enough and blessed enough to have enough wherewithal and to realize and have enough introspection and intuition to utilize this experience, to learn, to heal, to grow. Done right and done in the right environment with the right influences and suggestions and everything else, it can be a very, very powerful modality of healing. The psychoactive substances have a particular way of disarming and disempowering the ego. which allows you much easier access to reprogram the subconscious, so forth and so on. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is one of the things that I've noticed in the collective is a resurgence, because this is nothing new, this has been going on for thousands of years now, is a resurgence of using said substances as a form of healing. For quite a few years now, probably maybe the last, I don't know, decade or so that I've noticed, there's been a greater popularity and interest in things like microdosing certain substances, or some of the new healing clinics that use a particular type of substance to varying degrees of success. This is what it is to be a light worker. Light workers have probably already gone and done and experienced all of that. And usually, in my experience, the people who will then engage in that particular modality of healing will find themselves coming across someone who's already had said experience. It's the way everything works in energy. Like attracts like in the unseen world of the metaphysics. And the physical opposites attract. And the spiritual likenesses attract. And there's purpose for all of that as well. At any rate, so there's a massive amount of people in the collective who are starting to go through utilizing these techniques that myself and a lot of other quote-unquote light workers, for lack of a better term, have already experienced in their lives. That's what it means. We went through it on our own so that we could clear a path for the rest. Not so easy, by the way. It's very, it definitely takes a particular level of strength and perseverance to do what most of us do. And that's just one small example. Different people do it in different areas. Some do it emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, so forth and so on and so on and so on. You live in a world of relativity. What that means is you don't experience one thing without usually an opposite thing to relate it to. That's what it means, relativity. Even if you want to, go down the rabbit hole of Einstein's special theory of relativity, the whole basis of the theory is essentially frames of reference. Okay? Well, it's true with just about everything. If you think you're a light worker and you want to be a light worker, you want to shine your light, well, guess what? People can't see that light unless you shine it in the dark. Nor would it be there without the dark, without your shadow. That's what makes it so noticeable. Is you've integrated your shadow and it walks with you. You're not ashamed of it. You're not afraid of it. You don't shun it. You've healed it with love. And that's the most powerful tool any light worker or healer has. We learn all kinds of tools and skills in the way, from different forms of introspection and intuition and empathic abilities and even psychic abilities, the different clairs, so forth and so on. But all in all, they always come back to basically one thing, and that's love, and the power of love, and the true transformative power of unconditional love. And that's really our main purpose. Whether it is love of oneself, love of fellow man, love of a particular path in life, whatever it is. Which brings me up to another topic, one that has gained a lot of popularity in modern culture now, the twin flame journey, as they call it. This, again, is not new. Neither are the terms of, star seeds, indigo children, and so forth and so on. Every generation has them. Every generation usually has a different label. They're all the same. The twin flame journey. Has been heavily romanticized, and rightly so. It can be one of the most joyous, blissful, loving, accepting, understanding experiences you've ever had. It's also the most heart-wrenching, soul-crushing, painful, depressing experiences you've ever had. I'll do another video specifically on that. It's a work in progress, we'll say. So anyway, what is a light worker? A light worker is someone who's already gone through the trenches ahead of you. And they're there to let you know it's okay. Yeah. Another very commonly used term nowadays, the dark night of the soul. It's painful. It fucking sucks. But it's worth it. And even that's in scripture too. Nobody said it would be easy. They said it would be worth it though. Yeah. You will be tested in ways you didn't know. You will be given opportunities to show strength and experience you never knew you had. Patience you never knew existed. Perseverance beyond anything you've ever imagined. Resilience. All of these things. I'm not going to go into the finer minutiae of the purpose of each one of those and the different aspects of it, not in this particular video. Later I will. Most people, when they meet light workers for the first time, they think they're crazy. They're delusional, they're insane, or this or that, the other thing. Until, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years later, something in the back of their head goes, click! Wait a minute, so-and-so told me about this experience, and it just smacked me in the fucking face. Oh shit, maybe they were right. More often than not, we are. I call it the burden of truth. And because of that, I unfortunately am rarely surprised. It's a blessing and a curse, trust me. It's relative. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the message for now. And it was funny when I was, before I decided to turn the camera on and record the message, I often talk to myself. Sometimes you need expert advice, Anyway, and right as I got done kind of figuring out what I was going to say, finishing the channel, the download, it started snowing / hailing where I'm at. My birthday snowstorm, I get one every year. And that's a good example. Don't be afraid when the weather changes. It'll pass. Might pass like a kidney stone, but it'll pass. And there's a purpose behind it. Even if you don't know what that purpose is in the moment. So, Have a blessed, beautiful day.